right, cool. So hopefully you should be able to hear me and see me okay, or you won't be able to see me, but this will be in audio. So let me know that you can hear me okay, that you're here with me. Again, another hectic morning this morning. We're trying to get the tech things all squared away. I promise y'all, I was on top of my A game, ran the live session last night, and in running the live session, I guess something just kind of failed me. So me just make sure that I am here and I am live. Okay. I can see myself there. I can hear myself. I am here and I am live. Okay. I see this is working. All right, y'all. We are here. We are good. Welcome. Tune in. Be sure to share this out to your friends, family, okay, who may can benefit from the conversation today. And this is the launch of the Nurse to Nurse podcast. I don't know if you previously know, but I hosted a podcast in the past, and it was the Female CEO Transform Her. I did about 21 episodes on that podcast, kind of let it die off, and I decided to come back with the podcast and Nurse to Nurse. And the Nurse to Nurse podcast is really a podcast where we as nurses can get together and have these type of conversations. And when I say these type of conversations, I'm talking about conversations that are inspiring as well as innovative. You know, when you think about innovation, like inspiring innovation is a way that we can drive a greater impact in the world. And that's what the Nurse to Nurse podcast is going to be about. My plan is to go live and drop a new episode for you weekly on Sundays at 10 a.m. Okay, we're going to drop some live conversations around you. And the different type of topics that we're going to talk about here on the Nurse to Nurse podcast is all around brand building, about entrepreneurship, leadership, and other issues that we as nurses face. Okay. So if you don't know me, my name is Starshima. I'm a registered nurse. I am the nurse coach. My mission is to help nurses package their education, their experience, as well as their expertise and create a premium coaching package to allow them to be able to transition from bedside nursing to a life of impact, influence, and let's just say hella income, right? So that is what my mission is. This is the reason for these conversations, because I want you to live at the optimum of what you were created to be able to do. So that's what the podcasts are all about. Drop a heart, or just leave me a comment in the comment box to let me know that you are here. Okay, just let me know that you are here. This is live streaming on my social media, so I am using StreamYard to stream. You will have to give StreamYard permission to be able to you have to give StreamYard permission to be able to see your comments. All right. Cool. I just wanted to make sure I was live on all my platforms. Awesome. We're good there. All right. So the big heated topic of today that I am super passionate about, and I hope y'all excited about it too. And it's labeled How to Become a Nurse Coach, right? How to become a nurse coach. And really, when you think about this, I know it's really specific to nurses, but if you're interested in becoming a coach, if you're new, if you're aspiring, and again, if you're a coach who's already coaching and you have not made the type of money that you want to see in your coaching practice, then this will be a good podcast for you to listen to, because it's going to drop some good content for you. So let me talk to you about the topics in which we're going to explore around how to become a nurse coach. In this episode, I'm gonna tell you what is a nurse coach. Okay, get really clear about what it is. And the second thing I'm gonna talk to you about is why you should consider turning your expertise into becoming some type of nurse coach. Okay, the third thing that I'm gonna talk to you is how nurses drive impact with being coaches in the world, and give you some examples of how you can do that. And then you will never leave my presence without giving you some type of actionable steps that you can use to become a nurse coach. So I'm going to give you some how-tos, okay? So drop in a comment, yes, if you're ready, if you want to hear this content, you're ready to get some content that's going to drive a greater impact for you in your profession. today. So let's just jump right in. Let's just quit shoe footing around because I am behind schedule. So let's just look at our first topic. So the big topic, overall arching topic that we're going to talk about is how to become a health coach, right? A nurse coach. I'm sorry. So let's talk about what exactly is this nurse coach. Some of you guys like, Starshima, I see you tossing around this content, but I really don't know what it means, right? You don't know what the content means. So what is a nurse coach? So nurse coaches, they are nurses, right? Either they can be LVN nurses, they can be registered nurses, and they are nurses who leverage one, their experience, secondly, their expertise, thirdly, their education, and they combine those three E's with their passion, right? And they put those four together, and they use that to help them provide guidance and resources to their clients to help them reach their goals. Some examples of nurse coaching include things like helping individuals improve their overall health and well-being. I'm going to explore that a little bit deeper as we get into the content today, but that's really what the emphasis of being a health coach. Type 1 in the chat box if you really feel like this is something that you can do. Do you think that you can put your education together? You can put your experience together, your expertise, and mix it with your passion, because here, us as nurses, we're hella passionate about what we do, right? We're nurses because we want to see people, either one, we're here to promote health, right? We're really here to facilitate coping within our patients, right? Prevent from further health issues from happening with our patients, right? That's the reason why you and I both hold nursing licenses. That is the goals of why we nurse. So now it's just taking those same things of why we nurse and how we nurse and the things that move our behavior in caring for our patients, and just doing it in a different type of way. So my approach here is to help you take these four things: education, experience, expertise, mix it with your passion, and I'm here to help you create a premium practice, right? Here you to create a premium private practice to be able to serve your patients. Now, some of you all be like, Starshima, now what you got me doing, right? What is this all about? Private practice, like, hold on. So when you look at the laws of California, there is nothing, unless you guys can show me that when I was doing my research, that stops you from being able to use a very holistic approach in caring for your patients in a private practice. Yes, there's you don't have to be certified to do it, right? You can eventually go and get your certification in it if you choose to, but you don't have to. There is no guidelines around you stopping you from being able to package your knowledge up and drive a greater impact in the world. So that's a good segue into me talking about concept number 2, is why should you consider turning your expertise into being a health nurse, a health coach, a health nurse coach? What were some things you want? One, let's just be real. Let's just look at the space that we're treading in right now as nurses. There is a huge disruption in the profession around how clients are seeking care. The mindset around your patients are different. One, our patients that we get into the hospital setting is hella sick now, right? They're really, really sick. Okay. And health starts long before they enter our facilities. And when you think about why some of these patients get to where they are in their illness, is because they do not have the proper amount of care or accountability that can help them prior to going into the hospital, right? So some of them don't know how to manage their diabetes. Some of them don't know how to manage their blood pressure. Some of them don't know the right type of diets they should eat, right? Or there is some mental disruption. Now, some people have mental collapse and they don't know the right things to be able to do prior to coming into the hospital setting. So when you become a nurse health coach, depending upon your specialty, your area of expertise, you're going to help that. So a huge disruption, because one thing that patients are looking for is they want to reach their goals. They want a very customized approach to reaching their goal and keeping themselves healthier. When you look at the statistics, we are taking a greater accountability for our health than what we have done previously. And that is powerful. So that means, hey, nurse. Hey girl, hey girl, hey. You know that thing that you do? You know that magic that you do? Your patients want that, right? They want that. They want you to come out of hiding to be able to care for them. So that's the big overarching thing there. And a very customized, very, very customized approach to the care that you provide to them. Looking at the second thing is you as a nurse, you became a nurse because you wanted to drive impact. I often use a quote with my students and I tell them, one of the greatest privileges that I have as a nurse is that I get to care for people at some of their most vulnerable times. And in their times of their vulnerability is when I'm able to make the greatest impact. Drop a heart if that's relatable to you, or drop a comment, a number 2 in the chat box. If this is relatable to you, that you want to drive a greater impact as a nurse. That's why you became a nurse. You wanted to have change. You wanted to deliver effective, compassionate, trustworthy care to your patients. And the big, big thing is you wanted to see your patients get better and leave. You're facilitating coping, promoting rehabilitation, the reasons why we do what we do in the world. So that is the second reason why you as a nurse should really, really strongly consider packaging up your 3 E's and mixing it with your passion and driving a greater impact in the world. Okay. The third thing is that this is going to open up new doors and new pathways for you. One thing about us as healthcare workers, we got to be on the cutting edge of things, right? We got to be on the cutting edge, the way that things go forth in healthcare. So we want to be on that cutting edge of this new trend of healthcare and the way that they're driving impact. So you may say, Starshima, give me some examples of what this really looks like, because at this point, I know what is a nurse coach, and that seems hella enticing to me. And I definitely can package up what I know to drive a greater impact in the world for my patients. The second thing is why you should do it, looking at the trends and what's going on right now in a way that your patients are receiving care, the level of responsibility that they're taking for their health care, and for you, and the reasons why you nurse. These are the reasons why you should consider packaging up your intellect and creating a premium offer, okay, for your patients. So I see nurse coaches in the mental health space, helping with mindfulness, a very holistic approach, mind, body, spirit. With that, they're assessing their patients. They're assessing their patients' readiness to be able to learn or to change. They're assessing where the need is, and then putting the strategies that they've known through the years of experience, their expertise of being in the field, and helping them reach that result in which they want to reach. It's not changing the way that you do things or the way that you approach nursing, the way that you assess your patients. It's just now you leveraging your intellectual property that you work really hard for to be able to do this. I've seen this in diabetes management. I've seen nurse coaches in wellness. Given an example of where may you see this in what type of space and how they drive impact, I'll give you an example of a nurse coach. It was a nurse coach who was at a local organization, and I'm going to give you my example of how they impacted me. I was having some elevated glucose, and I needed to get my glucose within range. And with that, they appointed me a nurse coach. And the nurse coach was to use her expertise to guide me to get the result that I needed and to reach my goal. For me, that goal was to get my A1C into normal ranges. Okay. So that was the goal of her and I's relationship. Despite how long it was going to take me to get there, the goal was to get to the goal. So with that, she used her years of experience. She used her expertise in the subject matter. And she used her education. Sure, she was passionate about it because she was really, really serious. I felt her passion in her voice. And she created, and with those things, she allowed herself to create a strategy for me to reach my goal in less than 3 months, which was getting my numbers from a 14 to a 7. That was very, very powerful. This was an example. I gave you a real life example of how nurse coaches work, how they leverage what they know to be able to help their clients reach their goals by doing what we do as nurses. So that is an example of how a nurse coach can move. Now, is it that you're going to go and be the diabetes nurse? No. The thing is that you are going to go and coach in the area of your expertise. One thing about me when I was helping service-based entrepreneurs with all different types of coaching is my magic was to help them double down, zero down, and uncover that area where they play the strongest. This is why I have seen some great success within my clients, is because they play where they were strong. They did not go against the grain and try to learn something new. They leverage what they knew already to be able to drive a greater impact in the world. And that's the same thing that I want to help you with inside the Nurse to CEO Accelerator, is those things that I help you do, like uncover your area of expertise and where should you be playing at. Okay. And let me just go back really, really quick just to help solid this content, because I think I bypassed it a little bit. Is that when you think about why you should do this, I want you to think about people are looking for very specialized type of care. People are looking to go to experts around what they know. Okay. I don't want to go to the internal medicine doctor to help manage my blood pressure. I much rather go to a cardiologist if it's a pump issue than take me to the person who knows about the pump. Not saying that the internal medicine doctor don't know about the pump, but they're very generalized, right? They know a little bit of everything, and that's important for them to know. But who really knows about this pump better than a cardiologist? The cardiologist, right? Think about this. If you were having some type of kidney problem, did you want to go to just a general doctor to get your kidneys fixed? No, you want to go to the person who knows the most about the subject matter. And why do you want to go to them? Is because they're going to get you to your result faster because they're specialized within the area. And I help nurses and women build premium coaching practices by leveraging their expertise and being the expert within the field, because people pay premium prices for premium services to work exclusively with experts. I would rather any day work with somebody who specializes in the area than to work with somebody who just knows a little bit of knowledge about it. Ask yourself that question. So if you're still wondering why should I probably do this? Well, here's why. Okay? Here is why. All right. So with that, let's jump down into your how-tos, because right now we covered what is a nurse coach. The other thing that we covered is, hey, why should you consider packaging up your education, your experience, your expertise, and mixing it with your passion to be able to drive a greater impact? Here's why. There is a need for you out here, and the person that you're serving needs you to come from out of hiding to be able to do that. Okay. And then we talked about how a nurse coach drives impact. So I gave you different examples of nurse coaches, was really specific about one. Now, let me tell you what are the simple how-tos of how you can do this to drive a greater impact in the world, to increase your influence, and to make hella income, giving you the ability to be able to transition from bedside nursing and to give you the freedom in which you truly, truly desire. Because if you look at right now, nurses are leaving the bedside at an exponential rate because they're burnt out, they're overwhelmed. The trajectory of healthcare is changing, and they're looking for something different that's going to give them the freedom in which they looked after when they decided to go into the profession. Because let's just be real, some people told you can make really good money as a nurse. Okay. But what they didn't tell you is how hard you had to work at the bedside to be able to get that money, to be able to give yourself that financial freedom that you really look for, right? And secondary to a huge pandemic, and now us living in the consequences of such, many 401ks are depleted, right? We don't have the resources that we thought that we can have. And some nurses who are making really good money are still living paycheck to paycheck. And nurses now are looking for new ways to get their freedom back, that thing, and still be able to drive the passion and the passion and the impact in the world that they really were that they really wanted to do. That's really the big thing, right? So here's not changing you being a nurse. It's just changing the way that you deliver care in the most trending way that's deliverable right now. That's going to elevate your impact, your influence, and your income. All right. So get your piece of paper, and I want you to jot down these 4 things that you need to do. What is my how-to, Starshima? How am I going to be able to become a nurse coach? What do I need to do to be able to do that? And drop a heart and let me know if you're ready for this content. Let me know if you are ready for the content. Okay. Give me the okay to let you know what is the magic. And some of y'all gonna think that it's gonna be super, super hard to be able to do this. It's really not. It really comes to your dedication to put this forth and to believe that you really deserve it and believe in your magic in what you bring to the game. That's really what the big thing. It's a big mindset thing. And it's unlearning the way that you've been delivering care for the last 10, 15, 20 years and trying something differently. But let's go ahead and let's just start your private practice, your private premium practice to be able to serve your patients at a greater capacity. All right, so here's the how-tos. So the how-tos are 1, uncover your level of expertise. So many of us as nurses, we know that we're great in one area. Perhaps you're specialized. Perhaps maybe you're specialized in med surg. Perhaps you're specialized in telemetry. Maybe you're specialized in ER nursing, OR nursing, endocrinology, tons of different areas, right? Where you work with different types of disease processes that you have been working with. And you pretty much in your sleep can say, this patient needs to do X, Y, Z, right, to get them to where they need to be. But because you're as a nurse, you're following the guidelines of what the physician has ordered for the patient. And that's what we do as nurses, right? We do that. But you say it can be a lot easier for the patient, right? So with that, what area of expertise do you want to play in? And this is one thing I take them through a process in the Nurse to CEO Accelerator, and I help them uncover their level of expertise, knowing the area in which they should be playing in to go and create that premium practice from. The second thing is identify who you want to work with. Now, one big thing about me, as a nurse, especially as an ER nurse, I didn't get a chance to choose. I'm going to be real with y'all. I got what came into me. Okay. Even as an OR nurse, I didn't get a chance to choose what area of OR nursing that I wanted to specialize in. And so with that, I got who I got. And I had to know to do what I needed to do to save the patient. Type 4 if that's relatable to you, right? But here, when you begin to create your own private practice and your premium coaching practice, guess what? You get to pick who you work with. You get to pick your type of client. You get to pick your most valuable client, right? That you get to work with, and those clients that you want to see them achieve their goals. I mean, this is like taking control back. This is true autonomy of what we want as nurses. I want to care for who I care for, right? And I look at this in like dentistry, right? You look at dentistry work with patients who can pay them, right? I've never went to a dentist that did a service on me without me paying them first. Oh, y'all better come on. I said if I ever could go back and do it again, I'll probably go into dentistry because they get their money. They get paid. But us as nurses, we kind of get what we get, right? And then sometimes, it's just what it is. But when you think about someone in dentistry, they get to pick because then they're choosing by a person's ability to be able to pay them. When I think about I got my braces put on, my Invisaligns, if I could not pay them $6,000, he wasn't putting Invisaligns on me, right? Okay. So just think about that. So you got to identify who you want to work with, right? To get the results, what type of patient, and inside the Nurse to CEO Accelerator, again, I hope you really narrow down on that ideal client. Who is your ideal client for you to work with, leveraging your expertise? Who's the client that's ready to pay you? Because one thing that we go wrong in business, we create businesses, we pick these generalized ideal clients, and some of these people can never ever pay us for our services. But we get so frustrated in the business because we're not closing the ideal client, or people are wasting your time. They want to pick your brain on your discovery calls instead of really being ready to work with you. Let's change that narrative. Okay. The third thing is you got to package up the offer. So many times I say package it up. And when I say package it up, I literally mean put it in a package. I help you go through and write your curriculum about how your client is going to work with you over a period of time. They may work with you over 3 months. They may work with you over 6 months. Hell, they may work with you over a year, but I help you package it up. One thing that people go wrong and they lose so much money and they don't have the commitment from individuals and the clients don't get the results in which they need is that they try to do them on a session by session basis. But when you do me on a session by session basis, you allow me to come in today and I see you. We start a process, right? Working with me. Maybe perhaps you're helping me get my diet under control so I can lose weight to get my diabetes under control. You're my nurse coach that's going to help me do that, right? So I come in and I see you today. I see you today, you lay it out for me, you give me a list of things to do, and then you say, okay, well, I'll see you at the next session. Well, all right, well, hell, when's the next session? I may not come back for 4 months. And then you're like, what did you do from the day 4 months ago when you first saw me? And I'm still in the same place, if not even worse. My glucose are higher. And then again, you as a nurse is feeling frustrated. My coaching services aren't working. My clients aren't getting results. So not only is it keeping you, not giving you the financial freedom that you need, but it's also lacking the results and the social proof that you need as an individual that's going to help you grow your practice. Because when you get clients results, that's when you grow faster. That's when you land more premium clients, is when you have a streamlined system. So when you package it up, I help you write the curriculum that's very action based, that at each phase of an interaction with you that your patient should, or your client, excuse me, I say patient clients interchangeably, that your clients are getting the results that they need. That is absolutely important. It's a curriculum flaw or a program flaw with many coaches that I see, is that people aren't getting the results in which they need. So you want to make sure that you have that lined out correctly. And it's okay if you don't understand that, because I can help teach you that, right? You don't feel like you have to do this alone. So that's the third thing, is packaging up the offer, and we're packaging in a place where it's going to get you paid, it's going to drive the impact, and it's going to get your clients results. That's the big thing. And number 4 here, jot this down. Number 4 is to market and serve, right? A lot of times, that's why I help women build brands, right? Is because the people buy you. So many times people think that they're buying products and services, and it is a lie. When you're coaching, even when you're nursing at the bedside, the person is getting a buy-in from you. When you walk in that door, that person has already sized you up. Perhaps you're something like me that got stories like, oh, you're too young to be a nurse. Well, you only seen me for 3 minutes. I literally walked through the door into your room by the gurney, and you're telling me I'm too young. And why is that they made that perception already? Is because they sized you up. The brand of you, when you walk through that door, they already figured it out. But here's the difference when you're working bedside nursing in the brand of you versus when you're doing coaching in a coaching premium practice in the brand of you. The thing is, when you're bedside nursing, regardless of how you look, what that looks like, the client is sick. So you have to care for them regardless of the fact, right? But when you are in your private practice, how you look, how you show up, how the brand of you are is going to drive whether or not you're going to close that client, right? So you got to show up and build connection and build relationship and articulate value to them and skyrocket your authority so that they can choose you over the other nurse coach, right? Or whoever it is that they're choosing to help them get the result. And it's not going to be based on the amount of money that you're charging them. It's going to be based on the transformation that you can bring to them and how they've gotten a buy-in from you. If you can build relationship with them and you can market like a boss, giving them value, you're going to be able to serve them because they're going to trust you with them. And that is the 4th big step around creating the how to really start your premium practice, right? That is the skeleton of it. You must uncover your expertise. Stop trying to do everything. Stop trying to be the GOAT at everything, but pick one thing to be really, really good at. The other thing is identify who you want to work with and the results that you're going to give them. Pick your client. That's one thing you get to do, is you get to choose. So many times, we let the clients do the choosing for us. Not here. Not with me. We get to choose the client. That's powerful, right? The other thing is package up the offer. Not in these sessions, $2.99, $50, $75 a session. Nah, you'll be overworked, overbooked, and you might as well stay at the bedside. Doesn't work. Then you need to show up and market, giving value every single day and serving. That is the ticket. So the big topic of today was how to become a nurse coach. That is how. The thing is understanding what is a nurse coach and what is the role, understanding how a nurse coach aligns with what you do as a nurse, okay? To be able to drive the impact, know why you should really do it. Like what is happening right now? Let's follow the current trends in healthcare, right? We want to do the trending things, but to do it with our own sauce, which makes us our magic, right? Looking for what the population of people that you serve are looking for and working with them in a different type of environment, right? You're not working with them when they're really, really sick and they're chewing you out, their family's chewing you out, they're down your throat, burning you out, stressing you out, that when you get home to your family, you absolutely have no more reserve to even care for them. It takes you a day to recuperate from a 12-hour shift. Let's do away with that. Let's serve them in another capacity. Let's get them in another environment. Let's get them to their goals differently, right? Giving them that very customized and individualized approach is important. Knowing the different ways that maybe you can drive impact. What are some things that's turning for you? Drop that in the chat box. Are you thinking about, oh, I can go into mental health? I've been doing this for years. I've seen so many different mental health disorders. I see how they're even impacting us as nurses. And let me go in and create a premium practice to either help my nurses or to help the clients reach their goals. Because the thing is that mental health disruption, it doesn't always look like the person that's on the street with drugs. Sometimes it's the person that's working next to you that need to know how to have good coping strategies and what to do when a crisis arise or triggers arise for them. One of the big things, mental health and nursing is one of the trending topics amongst healthcare right now. Mental health and nursing. Just, stay up with your trends, nurses, know what's going on. And then here's how you do it. And say, for instance, Sarshima, I've given you all the magic. I told you these things, and you're like, Sarshima, I still don't know, but I'm really, really interested. Well, I know I gave you some power-packed information. And if you feel like this is something that you want to do and you really don't know how to put all the bells and whistles in for you, then I want to invite you to the Nurse to CEO Accelerator. It's a 90-day coaching intensive, okay? And it's where I help you transition from a nurse to a CEO by packaging up your experience, your expertise, your education, and your passion, and creating a premium coaching practice to begin working with your clients to transition you from bedside nursing to a life of impact, influence, and hella income. Then you definitely want to get into that. I got a program that's starting September 1. It's a gradual release program, so it's not going to be anything overwhelming. I want you to send me an email. The email is at info, I-N-F-O, at iamstarshima.com. Okay. And I want you to put Nurse to CEO Accelerator, and we'll get you in. Okay. So thank you for joining into episode 1 of the Nurse to CEO. Hopefully these conversations are the type of conversations that you are interested in and those that can drive a greater impact in the world for you. So be here live with me on Sundays at 10 o'clock. I'll drop a fresh episode for you. And again, here we talk about things around leadership, branding, real issues that nurses face to help, that we deal with even in our homes, and that may stand in the way, because we want you to grow. We want you to shine. And as nursing.com say, and have happy nursing. But anywho, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll go back and look over your comments and we'll stay connected. Until then, have a great day.